2024 Rivian R1T. A number of million unused pickups are sold within the US each year, and whereas there are as it were some completely electric offerings, no truck is as fast as the Rivian R1T. Making as much as 835 drive, the R1T can get to 60 miles per hour in 3.0 seconds, a few tenths speedier than a Portage Bronco Shelby GT500, and can tow as much as 11,000 pounds, all in close quiet. Individuals who have bought a tent or a pair of REI climbing boots will feel commonplace with this upper-class outdoorsy insides. There's a honkin' 16.0-inch touchscreen within the center of the Sprint and finely sewed calfskin up and down the seats. In spite of the fact that EV pickups are to some degree specialty, the R1T does have its rivals. The Portage F-150 Lightning, the Chevrolet Silverado EV, and the GMC Hummer EV SUT are the as it were other stores to visit in this section. None of them do it just like the Rivian, which highlights a super accommodating equipped burrow for extra capacity between the truck bed and cabin. Its max DC quick charging rate of 220 kilowatts complements its EPA estimated extend of up to 410 miles pleasantly. Include a few off-road chops into the condition and the R1T is one of the foremost able EVs ever. The R1T pickup gets a execution form with the less expensive 2-motor powertrain for 2024. A unused drive cam include permits video from a whole trip to be recorded on a USB-C drive, much like a substitution for a dynamic dashcam. The driver-facing camera is now not accessible, and the story's the same for the 12-volt outlets within the cabin and frunk. We did here with the experience because it comes with a few alluring highlights, counting a Meridian stereo framework, warmed and ventilated front seats, and wood insides trim. We'd pay the additional $6,000 to update to the expansive battery pack to open more driving extend. So also, the quad-motor all-wheel drive powertrain costs $8,000 more, but we think its included execution is worth the taking a toll. Unless you're arranging on towing noteworthy loads, we'd skip the biggest max battery pack, because it increments extend past the huge pack by 27% but costs a whopping $16,000. All-wheel drive is standard on the R1T, but it comes in two distinctive arrangements, dual motor and quad motor. With fair 2 engines on board, the dual motor demonstrate makes 600 drive. A execution dual motor setup opens 700 drive and 700 pound-feet of torque. With the discretionary quad motor setup, the R1T gloats up to 835 drive. This show impacted to 60 miles per hour in fair 3.0 seconds at our test track, which makes it the speediest pickup truck we've tried to date. The dual motor demonstrate propelled to 60 miles per hour in 3.4 seconds, so there's not an enormous compromise in execution. And discuss suspension is standard and can alter the ground clearance from 8 to 14 inches. To begin with test drive, which we conducted in Colorado's rough mountains, shown the R1T's noteworthy off-road capabilities as well as its punchy on-road execution. Rivian says that every R1T can tow 11,000 pounds, which the pickup offers a payload capacity of 1,760 pounds. But, no shock, we found that towing a trailer will exhaust the battery distant more rapidly than when cruising unladen, so buyers who arrange to utilize the truck's towing capabilities would be shrewd to induce the demonstrate with the biggest battery pack when it gets to be accessible. Pulling a 6,100-pound double-axle camping trailer amid our towing test dropped the run of our R1T to fair 110 miles at 70 miles per hour. For 2024, the R1T is advertised with 3 diverse battery packs. The standard pack is said to be great for 270 miles per charge, whereas the expansive and max battery packs brag driving ranges of up to 352 and 410 miles, individually. On our 75 mph real-world throughway course, our quad-motor test vehicle, which was wearing 20-inch all-terrain tires and had the expansive battery, as it were conveyed 220 miles of extend. We tried a Moment R1T quad motor with the huge battery, this one wearing 22-inch all-season road tires, and recorded a extend of 280 miles. The dual-motor one with the expansive battery recorded the same 280-mile result. Interior, the R1T's cabin is decked out in calfskin, wood, and huge shows for both the gauge cluster and the infotainment framework. The R1T encompasses a large trunk beneath the front hood, a huge capacity compartment behind the cab, but before the bed, and a lockable in-bed compartment. Generally, Rivian says the truck has 12 cubic feet of lockable capacity. The truck's expandable and collapsible crossbar framework permits for mounting gear over the bed and cabin. There are 3 110-volt outlets and an discus compressor within the bed. A expansive 16.0-inch infotainment show is recessed into the R1T's formed dashboard, and a secondary computerized readout serves as a reconfigurable gauge show. The infotainment interface employs expandable tiles for person features, with the most options, route, media, climate controls, etc., accessible at all times at the foot of the show. Rather than diving into submenus, choices slide out of the side of tiles to diminish the complexity of the framework. Strangely, Rivian has chosen not to incorporate Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, both highlights that buyers may anticipate at this cost.